Hi there, everybody. This is David, and I just got done watching the Game Awards, and a lot of stuff was unveiled during the awards, and a lot of really cool games won some great awards, including some RPGs that we all know and love, and that is what I want to talk about today. I want to give you my thoughts and my reactions and everything else that happened during these Game Awards, and also just let you know about any sort of new announcements, and I do think that that's worth a sub, as I do try my hardest at 100,000 subscribers. With your help, your like, and your sub, I just know that I can get there. So, the first thing that I do want to talk about is just the awards in general, and I want to let you know that Metaphor ReFantazio, it won Best RPG of the Year. And as we all know, because, this year has been ridiculous, that was a very crowded category. It wasn't up against some little crummy games, and this was the massive game or whatever. It was up against games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor still won Best RPG, it won Best Narrative, and it won Best Art Direction. Now, Final Fantasy VII also won its own award as well, which was Best Score and Music. So that tells me that Atlas is definitely going to be revisiting the Metaphor world. We're probably going to be getting a sequel to Metaphor if, it just makes sense to me. It won all these awards, and it went up against the juggernaut of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it won, and it beat it. So Atlas has a winner on their hands. I don't think that this sequel is going to be still following these same characters or in the same world, but it's going to be like a sequel almost like Persona 3 to Persona 4 to Persona 5. It's just going to be something like that, or Final Fantasy 1 to 2 to 3, not like a direct sequel, but it will, that the franchise will still continue on, which is great. I think that Metaphor needs kind of like another pillar. It has SMT, it has Persona, and I think now it has Metaphor, and it's going to keep on going, which is great. I loved Metaphor, and I do think that it deserves its win, I must say. Now, another game that was up for an award, but it didn't win it, and also from Atlas, was Unicorn Overlord. It was up for Best Sim or Strategy Game, and it lost to Frostpunk 2. I don't know what the game that is, I've never heard of it, but that's just kind of upsetting to me. Final Fantasy VII did win for music, but that was it. It didn't win Game of the Year or anything else like that, so yeah. Some other games that were announced, one that I think is very interesting from Capcom, is Okami Sequel. It's not called Okami 2, I don't know why, it's just called Okami Sequel. And you know what that tells me? Capcom can actually go back to their old franchises. They know that they exist. They can go back and they can revive them. So if they can do it for Okami, maybe they can do it for Breath of Fire as well. That would be so nice. Also, speaking of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, guess what, folks? If you don't have a PlayStation 5, you are in luck. It is coming to the PC on January the 23rd. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. You can go ahead and you can grab it on PC next year. That is great for those of you who don't have a PS5. And also, in kind of an interesting turn of events, Clive from Final Fantasy 16 is joining Tekken 8. He's going to be coming in as a new fighting character on the 16th of December. So that's pretty cool if I do say so myself. Another game that was announced was Elden Ring Night Reign, coming out in 2025. This is a co-op action-adventure game. It is a standalone game. It is not DLC. This is its own separate game. It's coming out for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Also entering early access next year is Slay the Spire 2. This is a turn-based, card-based RPG. It looks really super cool and a lot of fun. Different classes that you can go ahead and play as and stuff like that. I think that looks really very interesting. There's a new update for Pal World as well, coming out on December the 23rd. It's called Pal World Daybreak. It's the latest update, and something that I noticed was that they're no longer throwing any sort of Pokeballs. That has been removed from Pal World. So yeah, that is not there, interestingly enough. Wuthering Waves, that mobile game, is actually coming onto consoles now. For the PlayStation 5 on January the 2nd, Wuthering Waves will be there. So yeah, some different stuff that was going on there. Also, Witcher 4 was announced, and that looked pretty freaking neat, if I do say so myself. And then there was another Western RPG, which I thought at first, I was like, oh, this could be kind of cool, and that's Game of Thrones King Road. And I was like, oh, I loved Games of Thrones, the TV show. Maybe I can go ahead and check this out. Coming out in 2025, and then I noticed it's mobile only, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about all that. So that, to me, was all the highlights of the Game Awards. The main thing to me that I've got to say is that Metaphor, I think, is still going to be with us for quite a bit of time. Metaphor is not going anywhere, folks. We're going to be seeing more Metaphor. We're going to be seeing sequels to this series. It's going to be another pillar in Atlas's, another feather in Atlas's cap that they're going to have that they can continue bringing games out with. Even though Unicorn Overlord didn't win, it was still up for nomination, which is huge for a brand new IP from a smaller developer like Vanillaware to actually have one of their games up for nomination. So that is amazing for them. So I do think that we might see some more Unicorn Overlord as well. And I am interested also to see what is up Capcom's sleeve now that they are revisiting their older franchises with Okami. I loved Okami on the PS2, and I am looking forward to the sequel. I will be buying it. I will be looking it out, and hopefully this means they're going to be going back even further into the SNES and PlayStation 1 era and looking at Breath of Fire. Here is hoping. So that is my thoughts and opinions and everything else about the Game Awards. Now I want to know from y'all, what did you feel with these Game Awards? Do you agree with the games that won? Do you agree with the judge's decision? Or do you think that they kind of screwed it up? Let me know in the comments, and let's all talk and chat about it. And have a good day.